CJ Abrams is one of my favorite prospects in baseball. I know he hasn't been the best for the Padres, but recently he was seen pimping a few home runs. I mean, this one, he did it in a SpongeBob jersey, so you know this guy's going to be good. What's up, everyone? It's Fuzzy. Welcome back to yet another MLB recap. We have so much to talk about today. We have an update on Fernando Tatis Jr. and his CT scans. They came back yesterday. Hopefully, he's going to be good to go. Mikolas nearly threw a no-hitter yesterday, and the Phillies bullpen is so bad. Let me do you guys a favor. If you're going to any games or concerts anytime soon, use my code Fuzzy on SeatGeek to save 20 bucks off your entire order. We have a ton of juicy, exciting games to talk about, so buckle up. And yes, I know I look like a toddler because I shaved. I missed the spot, so the whole thing had to go, okay? Game one of this doubleheader between the Cardinals and the Pirates were pretty much won by two men, Paul Goldschmidt and Matt Liberatore. Goldie socked one out for his 14th home run. He has been on an absolute warpath since the beginning of May. Liberatore easily had his best start of his young career, tossing seed after seed for 5 strikeouts and 5 scoreless innings. Giovanni Gallegos closes it out for his 9th save, sending Pittsburgh to 9 straight losses. I'm so happy that 9-inning doubleheaders are back because now it really feels like actual baseball is happening in these doubleheaders. Tommy Edmond can do no wrong. He is now tied with Trey Turner with home runs at 7. He has more stolen bases and a higher WRC+, so that's to all of the haters out there that were saying Trey Turner deserves it just because he has a better lineup and more RBIs. I'm just kidding. Edmond versus Turner versus Swanson is going to be a crazy race to the finish line. I know I brought that up yesterday. Anyways, back to the best first baseman in baseball. Yes, Paul Goldschmidt is that guy now. 17 home runs, and then you have Brendan Donovan. He continues to impress. One of the several rookies on the Cardinals making an impact this year. And oh my God, there he is again. 3 home runs and 8 RBIs in one single day. He's hitting over 350 with 16 home runs, 56 RBIs, a 200 WRC+. That is your MVP right now in the NL. Another rookie, Nolan Gorman, comes through with 2 more RBIs, and this was all for Mikolas, who took a no-hitter not only into the 8th inning, but into the 9th. He has 2 strikes, and Cal Mitchell, you can step on a Lego, my guy. Just kidding. An amazing effort from Mikolas. Cal Mitchell was just doing his job. He strikes out 6, talking about Miles, on 129 pitches. He lowers his season ERA to 2.62. A little golf clap, and I will tip my cap to Miles and the Cardinals as they sweep that doubleheader. Now, even though Miles almost threw a no-hitter yesterday, I don't think he was the best pitcher in baseball. I actually think that belongs to a dude on the Reds, but his team stinked yesterday. Zach Davies of the Diamondbacks was solid with 7 shutout innings, 7 strikeouts, but Tyler Mahle was practically unhittable. He threw 9, yes, a full 9 scoreless innings. He didn't walk a single hitter, and he struck out 12 along the way, and that's why he's so coveted in trade talks. And look at this mess. Cincinnati blows it not once, but twice, this time on a wild pitch. Now, luckily, Almora and India, I forgot that India was back and actually healthy, which is all cool and everything like that as the Reds win 5-3. Kind of a sloppy game, but shout out to Tyler Mahle. That was one of the better performances of the year from a starting pitcher. Wilson Contreras wants to distance himself from any other catcher that we're talking about that could steal his all-star spot. He smokes 2 no-doubters to kickstart this one versus the Padres, but the San Diego Padres didn't even blink. Luke Voit starts a big-time rally with his 7th home run, and he's inching back to a 100 WRC+. Mazzara and Kim cut into the lead with some RBI base hits, and Voit completes the comeback. With another RBI. He clears the bases, so a few RBIs on this one, and he gets his season WRC+ back over 100 all in the same swing. Mazzara drives home 3 on the day, and Jorge Alfaro is enjoying a very solid season with 4 home runs and an almost 115 WRC+, and Grisham finds a hole now. We do have to talk about some not so great news. Fernando Tatis Jr. was hoping to make a return in the next week or so if his CT scans were good. Unfortunately, they're better than what they were a couple weeks ago, but they're not where the Padres want them to be, so his timeline is going to be pushed back. He might not be on the squad until after the All-Star break, which really stinks because that's a month away. This game was basically David versus Goliath. Now, all I mean by that is it was Rhys Hoskins versus the entire Marlins organization. Okay, here we go. Jesus Aguilar, I do want to shout him out. He has been sick lately, and Avi Garcia pummels a 2-run shot as well, and I tried to warn you. Hoskins, he unlocked all of the perks like back in NW3. He was using all of them to drive home 5 runs before the 5th inning came to an end. A 3-run home run and a 2-run double. But speaking of 3-run home runs, Jacob Stallings clutches up, and he does his best Rhys Hoskins impressions, and Jazz sends one over the right field wall to tie it up, his 13th already. Hoskins actually ends up reclaiming the lead on his 2nd home run of the night, only to have Knievel Yeah, he was not good. Now, granted, he was credited with 0 earned runs, but he was bad yesterday. Garrett Cooper singles in the tying run, and Jesus Aguilar puts the finishing touches on RBIs 30 and 31 on the year as Tanner Scott gets his 5th save. The Braves lose challenge, difficulty impossible. They cannot lose. Swanson is putting up insane numbers, 9 home runs, a 130 WRC plus now. And yeah, the theme of this game is pretty much, we are better than you. Travis d'Arnaud, 3-run home run. Marcell Ozuna, home run. Orlando Arcia, home run. Michael Harris, a home run for the 2nd night in a row. The Braves score 10 in their 13th straight W. They are playing out of their minds, and this is why we love organizations like the Braves, because they lose Ronald Acuna Jr. last year. They trade for a bunch of pieces, and they win the World Series. They lose Freddie Freeman. They trade and sign Matt Olson. They lose Ozzy Albies, and then they put up a 10 spot in the very next game. So a tip of the cap. They are one of the better organizations in sports right now. Look closely at this pitch. Watch. So Colorado was legitimately trying to pitch around J-Ram. I don't know why they didn't just intentionally walk him. J-Ram throws his bat out of the zone, and he hits a liner to drive home 2 more RBIs. How many is that? We'll talk about that in just a moment. Josh Naylor has been a little bit cold as of late. He didn't let that bother him, though, on a clutch RBI single. It's clutch because Chuck Nasty spoiled Shane Bieber's gem. He ties it at 3 apiece in the 7th inning. But remember when you guys asked about how many RBIs J-Ram is at? Okay, it's 62 now. Again, why would you pitch to the guy? 37 extra base hits, 62 RBIs, and a 188 WRC plus. That is the best contract in baseball. Well, his and Ronald Acuna Jr. Cleveland gets blessed by the gods in the 10th as mayhem ensues. As you can see, kind of clown music ensued. Yeah, Clase is able to close it out after Chuck Nasty gave us a free out. Clase now has 12 saves on the season, and the Guardians are 3 games over 500. The Brewers have not been the same team without Woodruff and Peralta, and rightfully so. But then again, the team that they're playing has lost half of their pitching staff as well. And thank God the Mets traded for Chris Bassett, because he and Carlos Carrasco have been godsends. It was easy picking for Chris after seeing his offense go off for 3 in the 1st. Pete secured his 2nd RBI later in the 5th. And yeah, enjoy the Chris Bassett masterclass. 8 dazzling innings of scoreless baseball. He added 7 strikeouts just because he could. I love this Mets team. I have no idea how you're going to beat DeGrom, Scherzer, Tylor, McGill, Chris Bassett, Carrasco. Straight up, that team is gross, even without DeGrom and Scherzer. So when they get them back, again, I don't know how they are going to be beatable in a 5-7 game series. Another 8-inning start I want to talk about, but before we do that, I have to talk about his offense. Nick Pivetta, again, we'll get to him in a moment. He got some help from Xander Bogaerts, JD Martinez, and Rafael Devers. They all had RBIs. Basically a done deal, and Xander brought home JD, and JD later on doesn't need any help as he drives himself in. So does Rafi, who shows some very selflessness by allowing his teammates to walk home and not tire themselves out and potentially get injured running. So he hits the ball completely out of the ballpark so they can ease their way in. And all jokes aside, 15 home runs, a 173 WRC plus for Rafi, which is actually lower than JD's 176 WRC plus. So that lineup for the Boston Red Sox is disgusting. Nick Pivetta, speaking of disgusting, 1 earned run in an epic, well, it was against the A's, so I don't know if you can say epic, but 8 innings with a few punch outs is still pretty rad if you ask me. The Red Sox are 33-29. But they're 12.5 games back of the Yankees. This next one wasn't a sloppy game per se, because I think that both of these lineups are capable of going off on a nightly basis. Ryan Mountcastle joins the 10 home run club on this 2-run tater, and Chirinos plates Ryan McKenna on a double. But like I said, both teams have solid power guys. Chapman ties it up for his 8th, but still way below league average in terms of WRC plus. That's pretty much just Fangraph's version of OPS plus. 100 is considered average. Austin Hayes reclaims the lead, and Baltimore scores a few more to make it 6-3. Those insurance runs ended up being huge because Jorge Lopez stepped in with a 1-run lead, and he got it done. He does his thing, and he wraps up his 9th save of the year. Dane Dunning of the Rangers must have felt on top of the world yesterday, tossing 6 shutout as his team gave him a lead to work with. Just unfortunately, like a lot of teams across baseball yesterday, their bullpen was shaky at best. It all came crashing down in the 8th as 2 score on an error and then a Yordan ground out, and there's the ball game. Kyle Tucker smashes a go-ahead 2-run shot, giving him 12 home runs, 38 RBIs, 11 stolen bases, a 145 WRC plus, and 2 OAA. That is outs above average, kind of like the best stat for outfielders. So he is a 4-tool, borderline 5-tool superstar in my opinion. Just doesn't say much. He's kind of like the Paul Goldschmidt of outfielders. Presley allows 2 base hits, but it ended up not mattering as he earns his 12th save. A lot of closers with 9 and 12 saves yesterday. Eugenio Suarez has been one of the better third basemen in baseball this year. He very quietly has returned to his prime self. Well, not all the way, but 12 home runs, 34 RBIs, and a very very good 128 WRC plus. Ty France stays doing his thing, going 395 feet for his 10th, as Logan Gilbert is showing why he was so highly touted as a prospect. He hurls 6 scoreless innings, lowering his ERA to 2.22. The Mariners have all of the makings to be great. And also, for those who care, Jared Kelenic is hitting 304 with a 951 OPS in AAA. So if he can actually hone in on his issues, which is mainly off-speed pitches, he is going to be a stud and make the Mariners that much more dangerous. The Giants scored all 4 runs yesterday on singles and sac flies, but hey, it works. People got to start putting some respect on getting on base. It's very valuable, as evident by an entire movie. I think you guys have heard of it, Moneyball. Logan Webb might be Spider-Man from another multiverse because the dude was spinning his web all day long. 7 shutout innings with 9 punchies. He has an insane 2.84 FIP over the last 2 seasons combined. Camilo Duvall was out there piping fastballs, some of them reaching 102 to 103. That's 9 saves. And the Giants are now back on track with their 5th win in a row. The Doyers, this is the final game from yesterday. They get to Thor for 1 single run in the 4th, and that's all that Gonzo, Tony Gonsolin, was asking for. I cannot believe this guy, honestly. He one-hits the Angels over 6 1/3 scoreless frames. He lowers his ERA to 1.42. He leads the NL in ERA plus, WHIP, and hits per 9. Hits per 9 basically means that he has been the most unhittable starting pitcher in baseball to begin the season. Mookie snapped a slump. He was 2 for his last 36. That's his 17th home run. So the fact that he was 2 for 36 and still has a 3.4 F4 and a near 160 WRC plus, the man is incredible. Craig Kimbrell channels his inner Braves version by striking out the side for his 12th save. And again, a lot of people with 9 or 12 saves yesterday. But that is going to do it for today's recap. Let me give a few shout outs to super thanks. LeBron, obviously this is not the real one, but thank you for the love. And Smooth Criminal asked if Bob Melvin should get some manager of the year votes. Yes, I have him in the NL as one of the top candidates, and in the American League, I've got to go with Aaron Boone and also Tito Francona, who has the Guardians playing 500 baseball during a retooling or a rebuild, whatever you want to call it. But hey, that does it for today's recap. Thank you for watching. Leave a like and subscribe, and enjoy the web gems.
Chopped left side. In comes Mateo, barehanded pick. They got him! He can make this play as good as anybody. And can you field it cleanly with your bare hand? And he is pumped up.
That's laced towards center. Oh, diving, and he makes the play.
And then ultimately leaving his feet to haul that one in. Nice play.
Fly ball, deep drive. Refsnyder's back there, leaping up. Oh, and he makes the catch.
That ball hit sharply, diving stop Diaz, and his throw is going to be in time. A lead miss. Diaz, an incredible play at shortstop.
And the 2-2 on the ground right side. Diving stop. Gorman.
Got Nolan Gorman over there doing his best Tommy Edmond impression. That's a nice play. Good range right there. Gets to the knee, makes a strong throw.
Runs on the ear.
And he lines this one to left center. Chasing in the gap is Nimmo. Diving, and he made the catch. Oh, wow. That is spectacular.
Laid out. Wonderful.
Mateo 14 for 16. He's going, and he's out. Another great throw from the rookie, Gabby Moreno.
Yeah, damn, we done came far. The blessings soon pay off. I don't get a day off. Feel like the playoffs, they like, way I gon' take off. Dale got laid off, now we focused on trademarks. We just making hits after hits.